Hi ladies, my name is Maria and I want to teach you a little bit about contour and how we want to place contour on our face. Now let's just get into what is contour. Contour is going to be more of an ashy undertone, so it's going to add shadows back into our face. So when we put the rest of our makeup on, a lot of times we lose some of that shadowing. Naturally, we all have it along our cheekbones, along our jawline, up by our forehead. So what contour does and what it's aimed to do is to bring back some of that shadowing and even enhance it. So if you are looking for a little bit more of a cheekbone lift or more dimension by your forehead, coming in with contour is going to do just that. So I'm going to show you how you place it in the main areas on our face using my blush and bronzer brush. And I'm going to be using my contour right here. This one is Cedar. So let's talk about cheekbones first. That's where we're going to place them first. There's a couple things you could do. You could take a look at where your ear meets the skin of your face, okay? And we want to start it from there to about the outside of our eye. So if you are more of that visual person, you can see exactly where you would put it. The way I like to teach is you're going to take your 3 fingers and you are going to feel out for your cheekbone. I am one that you don't need all these different graphics when it comes to contour placement. Really, I want you to use your own face structure because that's what we're trying to mimic. That's what we're trying to enhance. So by taking those 3 fingers, you can feel where your cheekbone is. You can feel kind of the tip. So for me, it's right here and where it starts to sink under right there. Now, if we were that visual person, you can see exactly is how I lined it up before. Okay, so that's where we're going to place it. For me, I want to use a brush though. I don't want to get my fingers dirty, so I'm going to use a brush to place my contour right in that area. So when I'm using the blush and bronzer brush, I use that smaller end and I actually pinch my brush a little bit so that way I'm not pulling too much contour and I'm keeping that contour line nice and thin. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to stipple right into my contour. Don't ever swipe, okay? You're going to get way too much product. Little tip there. So just stipple in, and as we're pinching the brush, we are going to come and place our contour. Okay, and I actually pull it right on into my hairline here. And let's do this other side. And I'm just placing my contour. Okay, the reason why I like to place it first and not blend it right away is contour is often a little bit thicker because it's a little bit more ashy. So we want it to acclimate to our skin. Just a fancy word for warming up. Our creams warm up with the heat of our face, so we just want our contour to warm up a little bit because then blending is an absolute dream. So let's place it all first. I'm going to come back into my contour. Now I want to add it up by my forehead or up by my hairline. The way that I like to place it is I come and I hug my hairline super close. I'm also using my eyes again as kind of a landmark. I like to stop my contour at the outside of my eyes. So I am keeping that dimension and that shadow right up by my forehead and my hairline. And then again, my cheek where it's coming right back into my hairline. And again, I'm using the outside of my eye as kind of that stopping point. Another place that you can put it is right down by your jaw. Run it right underneath your jaw, and you'll add a little bit more shadowing underneath your jawline. Just be careful that you don't bring it above your jaw. You don't want to create that 5 o'clock shadow. Now's the fun part. Now we get to blend out this contour. It's acclimated to our skin. It literally only takes 30 seconds to do that. So we are going to blend it in. I'm going to start up by my forehead here. The way that I like to blend my contour is by actually pulling it straight back into my hairline. If you are a woman who loves to pull her hair back into a ponytail, we all know what can happen is you're gonna have this no makeup line in between the makeup on your face and your hairline. So what we wanna do is prevent that. So pull that contour right on back. It's gonna give that beautiful dimensional look. okay? But also if you throw your hair back into a ponytail by 10 o'clock in the morning, you're not gonna have that no makeup line, so it's gonna look super natural. Now when it comes to blending our cheeks, here's the way that I like to do it. You're gonna come in with your brush. Again, you can kind of pinch it together, and I like to stamp it on. So it's thinking of stamp, 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 right into that color, and then these little flick-like motions upward, okay? Wherever we created that contour line, we don't want to bring that contour below. We're trying to chisel and bring more shadowing and lifting up our cheekbone. So we're going to do these little flick-like motions, pulling that contour up, giving us that extra little lift. And again, you can pull it right back into that hairline. So if you throw your hair back in a ponytail, it's still gonna look super natural over here as well. All right, now on this side. So I always think stamp, 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 start to move it around, and then these little flick-like motions to blend your contour upward. And this is where you get to decide how little or how much definition and contour you want, okay? So if you are new and you get a little bit nervous with contour, totally okay. The more you blend, the more that color is gonna dissipate. If you wanna make sure that you have a very chiseled look, don't blend as much. And now down by our jawline, I just like to pull it down. So I'm pulling and creating a little bit of shadow underneath my jawline to give more of that chiseled jawline look. So there you have it. Contour at its finest. We all want to pull that dimension and those beautiful shadows back into our face. So again, our cheekbones, up by our forehead, and even our jawline. Any questions? Let us know.